couple of times. No more often than not, I feel
stalling as well.
Yeah, stalling out, because he can go to Ray form. Doesn't actually contest payload anymore, but because you can cancel it whenever you like, it is a little bit more useful. Just a little bit of invulnerability for a short time. Clockwork, though, they're running out on the old classic. The Clockwork comp, single healer. They've got Monk Martyr on the Hanzo as well.
Triple DPS. It's going to be a lot of shield pressure coming out here from the side of Clockwork Vendetta, and they're going to be all pressuring onto Chubbs' shield, who's only going to have 2 snipers at his back. Asking is going to be a lot less useful in terms of shield break on that Widowmaker unless he's focusing it down, but instead he'll be able to go for these off angles, try and get some early picks. Nothing being caught there.
Chubbs is already dead. They managed to destroy the shield. You said they got a lot of pressure. Arskin's going to return the kill with Engineer, but easy resurrection behind the shield for Zaitor. Dredro manages to get his off as well, but Ricky walling him off, and now Chubbs is in even more trouble. Ricky did have to go into Icebox in the end, so now has to play a little bit more defensive, but I gotta say, Harry, who's actually going to contest Asking right here? They do manage to cap the point, but they actually lose Monk Martyr in the process. That's a lot of damage now down.
It seems right now the turret's the one contesting Asking, and Engineer gets a big flank and a melee kill.
Nice melee kill on Slur. Nice little hook there by Moose, but they've still lost their main tank. Engineer's going to go down as well to a swift headshot. Kagasi. Should be a rather quick flip here. Morningstars have got a lot of ults online as well. Moose just stalling out for as much as he can. Normally you don't want the Roadhog using his rebreather on the point in order to stall out because he gives a lot of ult charge, but in that instance, perhaps they wanted to do that. 23% on the board, and Arskin's got sights, and Chubbs has almost got that supercharger hiring.
Yeah, I've got to give credit here to Chubbs and Tech36 for playing so aggressively here and demanding so much attention from Engineer, from Moose, and that means that Asking can sit in the back relatively untouched. He has all the space that he wants to just plink away with these shots, and now everyone is informed as to where they are. Kagasi knows exactly where he can put this Dragon Strike. I want to see it combined with the Holt, ideally.
Nice positioning as well. They're not going to see that until it actually breaks the center of the stairs. The Dragon Strike's going to come out, going to split halted everybody in as well. Engineer's already dead. They perhaps can get a res here because they were behind a shield for a time at least, but Zaitor ends up getting taken down by Kagasi. Now the cleanup is in place. Clockwork Vendetta end up falling. Kagasi with a nice little triple kill there. Arskin's going to finish off the rest. They actually use Supercharger in the moment there too, but realistically now, Morningstar sitting on a good couple of volts coming into this next fight, and they're already up to 50%.
Yeah, it's going to be very nice for them to just be able to sort of sit on that Valkyrie and that Transcendence so they can use them as they may. Engineer being picked off again by Asking. This is what we know Asking for, right, Jaws? Across all of these seasons, we've known him as a mad hit scan talent. Whether it's on the McCree or whether it's on the Widowmaker, he's always putting on a show, and he's doing exactly the same thing this time. Taking the off angle. He's got his eyes on Moose, doesn't want to be caught out with that hook.
Nice little dodge. Bomb's going to get sent in. Engineer goes down again with his turret as well. It's going to be loads of snipes coming out from Asking. Like you said, completely uncontested. Now Morningstar's popping some support ults. Chubbs gets hooked on in. Dragon's going to come through as well. In fact, Clockwork are going to throw almost everything into this. They've lost their solar helo now as well, so all this damage now permanent on side of Clockwork Vendetta. Dredro finds himself a nice little kill after he used that ultimate. Moose resetting himself. And now Clockwork Vendetta, they got a couple of ults online, Harry, but Minimu hasn't even used that supercharger this whole fight, neither's Ricky, and they're on the last fight now.
Slow got so much value out of that Transcendence as well. Chubbs was actually frozen by Ricky's primary fire inside of that Dragon Strike.
There's 4% remaining. They need to actually touch. I don't think anybody can do.
They've got to haul themselves over.
There it is. No one was actually fast enough to get back. Monk Martyr jumped on the Widow. He's like, okay, Asking, bring it, mate. 1v1 me. All right, out in the open. He did, but he managed to get the kill, but little to no avail as they forewent the point. No one switched over to Lucio or anything, so they weren't able to contest. Their comp is so slow moving as well, Harry. You got Torbjorn, who's so easy to headshot, as you saw Asking was doing. They got Orisa. Like, this comp doesn't move quickly. It moves very slow and very paced, and that's how they end up winning most of these fights.
We've consistently seen Engineer being the first pick over the course of that fight right there, which means that Morningstars are definitely making that a priority. They're trying to catch out Engineer as he goes on these sort of wacky flanks that he loves to go for. Like, we saw that he got a melee kill on Slur midway through that fight, because he just sort of like went around the back, used the speed boost to be able to like, sup, I'm here, I'm engineering. But this time they're like, okay, you want to go around the back? Then you're going to be in the sightlines of both Kagasi and Asking, and they're going to easily pick you off. It's going to be the same comp coming out from Morningstars. Actually, Tech36 moving over from Medivh onto the Mei, so we've got a mirror between our two teams, I believe, except
almost
no Zenyatta for Clockwork Vendetta.
Yeah, they're going with the solo healer, so that's going to be able to put down so much damage as well. Not in really comparison to the Roadhog. His right clicks do so much work to shields. But Asking once again, it's going to be more than safe. Clockwork Vendetta are going to have to play around these walls exceptionally well. Nice little headshot, actually, from both of them. Asking takes a little bit of damage as well. Morningstar's taking priority on the point. Asking's going to have to be a little bit more careful than that. However, they do end up capping. Engineer, not on his famous Torbjorn anymore, Harry. Double sniper for Clockwork Vendetta, but they already lose Moose. Ricky's going to go down as well. They do find the res, but even Slur taking the 1v1 versus Monk Marty, you don't want to do it, mate. You got 50 HP, he's going to go for it as well. Oh, he manages to click him. Gives him the hello too.
Tactical crouch.
Nice little control spam as well.
The kit.
All right, okay, calm down. They are families, okay? Come on. Clockwork Vendetta are going to have to go for a reset here, Harry. And Morningstars, look how many ults they build up, mate.
Yeah, they did so much damage, of course. One of the things Clockwork Vendetta are doing so well is they're controlling Moose. They know this is the main difference between their two compositions. They want more healing, and because they have that ranged healing from the Harmony ult, they can all stay at different angles outside of Moose's range. They're going to open up with a supercharger. Kigasi has ready to go another Dragon Strike.
That wall's going to instantly break as well. There's so much damage coming out from Kigasi too. That supercharger lasts for so long, 8 seconds in fact. And it just buys so much time. Zytor taking a little bit of damage here, and that is the rest of Morningstars now just getting a priority position. Dragon Strike's going to come out on the sidelines. I don't think they noticed that whatsoever. Kigasi almost manages to pick people off. In fact, Engineer ends up going down. A very swift res will be found. Engineer,
oh my.
What is this flank from Moose?
How was he there?
I don't even know.
Okay, the Moose is loose, but so is Reki, loose down the pit. He's going to be going back to spawn, and right now Morningstars, they're just concentrating on keeping that point. Nice flight for Chubbs.
Yeah, I mean, now you're in a big problem. There's the charger going down as well. Can jump into the block. They're going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. Kigasi so low. Enter. Oh, well, Mini sorry, is going to go so low. Take 36 now, jawling it out. It manages to at least help find the kill with Kigasi. Engineer ends up falling. Morningstars still controlling the point. Now 15% before they can secure the map.
Yeah, Scrappy Moose in the back looking for the hook. Gonna get it, but they still don't have the point in this 91%, Jaws.
Oh, Slur gets a nice right click as well. Ricky's the only one on point. I was so close. Chubbs almost ran him over. Dragon Strike's going to come back from spawn. Actually, a Blizzard is going to get committed. But they don't step on the points. Oh, that's not what you want to do. I was like, Ricky's got it, man. Ricky's got it. He's going to touch the point, use that Blizzard. It's going to be okay, but they don't quite step on, and big old C9 to win the map.
Yeah, Clockwork 9 this time around. What in the world? Morningstars are looking renewed, and this is what we said we need to do right at the start of the season. We were like, okay, 3-3 sort of being phased out. Everyone's sort of finding their own jam. Shanghai Dragons definitely showed that off during the stage finals as well. Like, teams that take gambles are being rewarded. But it's taking an educated gamble, knowing the skill sets you have, whether it's Ding on Pharah or Youngjin on a Doomfist or Asking on a really good Widow.
Well, reason why he's so good at that Widow too is that he was pretty much uncontested throughout the entirety of that. I was going to say one map, but the entirety of the map set, those 2 maps, including Sanctum, no one was really touching him whatsoever. It took Moose to actually go on these big flanks to try and find something. They didn't end up getting it. Morningstar's taking that one 2-0. We're going to jump to map number 2 right after this break. Hey guys, welcome back. Map number 2 on your screens very soon. Clockwork Vendetta, small C9 on Sanctum. They didn't end up taking that map or even actually controlling the point whatsoever. Morningstar's looking a little bit more revitalized than we've seen them over the last couple of weeks. This is their chance to turn it round. Currently 1-4 in the standings. If it continues going their way in this game, they could very well see themselves in playoffs.
They could. They're looking for an elusive 6th spot. Out of our 8 teams, the top 6 go to playoffs, the top 2 get a bye into the semi-finals. So that's sort of like scrimmage zone between 3 and 6. That's where all the quarterfinals are going to be decided. But speaking of deciding, we're going to decide who's winning this match because we're going over to Temple of Anubis next.
I like that really old picture of Anubis. Looks so young. Reminds me
with like the loading zone on it.
Yeah, it reminds me of first playing Overwatch way back. In fact, I went into my screenshot folder the other day, and I had 2 of them for some weird reason. I think I moved my document somewhere, but it was very old screenshots of me like casting and stuff with like the old overlay, and obviously seeing 2 Tracers as well, and 2 Lucios,
2 Winstons.
2 Winstons. Yeah, it was really
Mega
strange. Thinking back to it, and now obviously we're in 2019, Harry. It's a almost completely new game.
Speaking of 2 shorts, after this match, you guys can go and check up on a new developer update from Play Overwatch, which will keep you up to date on what's happening in the future in the game. But let's focus on the now, because Clockwork Vendetta, they need to tie this up going into the half.
They're starting on attack first. I mean, at the end of the day, they end up getting picking size. They know defense is going to be one of their strongest points. So maybe you set the time first, and then you're like, okay, so now we just need to defend for this long. It should be easy, right? As long as Arskin's not on the field. Anubis is so good for Widowmakers, man. This is going to be so scary. They've got Monk Martyr in the roster still. So I want to just see him take these duels over and over again, because you know Arskin's going to play Widow. That is just what he's going to play, because the sightlines are amazing. Tridd is also an insanely good Mercy player as well. He's going to be pocketing, it feels like, almost everybody. I mean,
Tridd an omnipotent Mercy.
Yeah, I mean, you know they're going to run this kind of comp, right? So I want to see what Vendetta want to do. Currently standing over triple DPS solo healer again, but Marty's on the Sombra instead.
I'm also hyper impressed with Chubbs thus far. He's really holding his own as an Orisa, especially considering he doesn't have a Roadhog to combine with. And thus far, Moose isn't getting a huge amount of value. Looking for those halts, and of course use the wall to deny the information coming through so they don't see the halt.
Oh, nice little shot. That got shielded off. Engineer almost went down, but Moose ends up going down first for Clockwork Vendetta. Ricky is going to fall as well, was super low going into that engagement. Does manage to trade though. His Tech 36 ends up going down. Hook onto the Orisa, but he got a lot of healing there. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. And in fact, now Morningstar starting to come alive. Supports carrying this game so far. So that does end up falling as Zytor too, as I say that. So maybe I'll take that back. Maybe Kagassi's doing the heavy lifting. He takes 3 for himself. But now they've got no shield to hide behind. They have to be a little bit more careful, Harry.
A lot of credit as well there. 2 Tech 36 wall placement. Chubbs has returned. The shield is back, and now Kagassi can plink away with impunities, looking to build up that Dragon Strike so that, of course, when people are in these tight corridors, they can do the maximum amount of damage. McMarder over on the Sombra, good hook break there from Kagassi.
They're not comboing these halts into hooks. You saw the hook come out, it disconnected because he was around a wall. Nice little shot by Arskin there, takes out Mini-Me, but instant resurrection as there is a Mercy on the field. Another headshot will though send them reeling. Zytor's going to go down once more. Such good target prioritization. I mean, you only really need to kill the Mercy,
Kagassi
right?
just got 3 headshots in a row.
Okay, there's 4. All right.
Come on,
well, there
go
it
for
is.
5.
Morningstars and Kagassi specifically just popping off right now. I mean, what do you do to stop this guy? You've only got 1 healer, and as soon as Zytor's dead, he's got free reign to do almost anything. Can get pocketed to the high heavens as well.
Like, it's been a while since we've been in a meta where you can really appreciate the power of a pop-off that comes from these DPS superstars. Look at all these ultimates available. Slur's gone over onto Memora, wants more healing, just keep Chubbs alive. Asking's dead, though. That's a risky resurrection position, but they're going to try and clear the space.
Dragon Spike is going to come out. Mini-Me gets trapped on the wrong side of the wall. Another Dragon Strike clearing everybody off the platform, but they didn't want to be there anyway, as Mini-Me was on the floor, isolated from the rest of his team. Both Blizzards are going to come through as well, but Tech 36 Blizzard actually gets cancelled by the EMP. That was perfect timing from Monk Martyr. Zytor's going to find his like-for-like in Tridd. Finally, Clockwork crack the defense of Morningstars. But Harry, it took them a long time. I mean, 2 and a bit minutes. Now they have to attack second. They've pretty much used all of their ultimates. They're going to have to rely on that supercharger coming up.
Yeah, 2 and a bit minutes and 4 ultimates expended. That was far more expensive than they wanted for the first point. And now the defenders have even more of an advantage. Slur, he's going over onto Soldier 76. I'm not sure what this is all about. A little bit more shield pressure maybe. Make sure that Mini-Me is consistently revealed, because you know that Arskin and Kagassi are hitting these headshots, right? Just make sure the shield's not there, and it's easy peasy for the Morningstars.
Nice little wall there, just isolating the Orisa. There's the Sombra. Arskin trying to go for the kill. However, you've got to be a little bit more careful than that. Went pretty low. Had to call on Tridd for a little bit of healing. Supercharger's going to come out for Clockwork Vendetta, but instantly killed off by Kagasi with a nice little flank. Shield pressure is definitely in favor of Clockwork Vendetta as Moose just charges forward with his ult, but he's going to be sent back almost to his team there. It's going to be up to Morningstars now actually recontesting, asking, he's had enough of the winner, mate. He's going straight on the top.
Chug, moving over. He's got the point contested right now. They can't step off it or give up a tick, and Tech 36 is down. This could be the chance.
That's a perfect pick, and Ricky's so close to that ult as well. Nice little flank by Moose. Kagasi's ult gets completely cancelled, and CV now on the point. Resurrection from Zytor also going to bring up Mini-Me and put him back on the point as well. Now they just need to hide behind the shield. 2 ticks have been acquired. Tech 36 coming in, instantly hacked, killed off by Moose. And now all they need to do is focus them out. Blizzard, EMP, you know the drill. It's pretty much all over. Morningstars without really a hope or a prey in defending this point now. Another wall should seal the deal. Clockwork Vendetta end up capping second.
Blizzard into EMP, also known as no Overwatch for you today. You can sit there and you can watch May smile as she charges up one of those icicles.
Just hello.
Somehow Kagasi's Dragon Strike did actually manage to come out. I caught the tail graphic of it, but that was a really good hook to catch him while he was in a stationary position. That's just as good as being halted, because he's having a bit of a spin, he's having a twirl, he's showing off his outfit for the judges. And you're like, okay, I'm going to judge you. Grab the hook, pull him in, get the pick, and that gives all the space for Engineer needs. He doesn't have to worry about those sniper doors, right? So we're just moving straight up to the tank like, you didn't have enough damage to kill me while I've got these healers with me.
Well, that was the problem last time around, right? It was that he was getting picked off all the time. He's not even on the Torb, he's actually on the Hanzo this time instead. So it's nice to see him flex up a little bit. He is definitely going on the Torbjorn now, though. We are on defense Anubis, of course. But the main problem for Clockwork Vendetta, especially at the start of this map, was Zytor was just getting picked off. And because the only target you need to kill on that solo healer comp is the healer. And then you win, right? And that's the only thing the Holt is going to hit, that Mercy. And then the hook's going to come in, and you kill it instantly. And then what happens? The rest of your DPS can clean up because that damage is permanent. And it worked out so good for Morningstars. They did forego the first point. 4-minute time bank was pretty impressive by Clockwork Vendetta. That second point is notoriously hard to cap just because how close the spawn point is.
Yeah, as with most assault maps, just because the defender spawn is so powerful. But something that's happening on Clockwork Vendetta is, I've got to notice that their whole hook combos are nowhere near as clean as we've begun to expect, and maybe that isn't a change in how they play, but that's a change in how these teams have been evolving and adapting. More teams are beginning to play the Orisa Roadhog combination. Before, when you went up against Clockwork Vendetta, you hadn't played against Orisa Hog for like months, right? You weren't really sure how to deal with that, but the public knowledge of how to deal with this composition is definitely growing, and there's good mitigation. Tech 36 now going back over to the Diva. He played this originally on Shrine of Nepal, and it worked out pretty well. Engineer, also not on the Torbjorn like we expected. He's over onto the Hanzo. Good wall there. Does make sure there's no way for the hook to penetrate through, even though there's no hook on Morningstars.
Yeah, still a lot of damage mitigated, though. You are above the shield, of course. Asking to click a couple of heads. Shield will fall down pretty fast. Kagasi going for the big flank, and Mini-Me's going to go down. That's a couple of headshots and an insta-kill. Forces the Zytor res. And now Kagasi in a little bit of trouble, trying to deal with the Roadhog. Spots him out, though, with the Sonic Arrow, so he's able to climb freely over the wall to join the rest of his team.
And that res by the space. Now look at Asking at the back of your screen. He's got free reign right now. Tech 36 on his own, but it's not the worst thing. That's a Moose flank.
Okay, Slurg finds 2 kills. Now his Engineer goes down as well. I think that's just about it, to be honest with you. Clockwork Vendetta's defense is just crumbling around them. Slur on the big flank kills 2 DPS straight up as a Zen. That's something you don't see every day. Moose is going to fall as well. Now be Morningstars with a bit of better time bank going into second point. 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the board. That's going to be a whole bunch as soon as they roll on, and they got a lot of ults to spare as well. They got the Dragon Strike. Chops is going to have that supercharger soon. Clockwork Vendetta, they got a defensive ult in the form of the Mail, the Blizzard, so maybe that's going to have to get used in response to the supercharger, Harry.
You got to look at Slur. He's the flanker now. He has the Transcendence ready to go. He can protect everyone from massive incoming damage, likely when it comes down to Moose and that whole hog, which can just do so much to an Orisa, especially if she fortifies. They open up with the Dragon Strike and the Valkyrie.
Dragon Strike with the Holt as well. Monk Marler ends up going down to Dredra of all people. You know him as the best Mercy in EU. He's kind of proving it right now, and he always does every single week. What am I kidding? Mini-Me's also going to go down. Oh, the cancelled of the ult! Oh no, that was the one ult you needed to stay alive. And now Engineer on the Torbs trapped in a corner as well. Morningstar's using the Transcendence to keep everybody alive. Askin wasn't quite so lucky, but Dredra was there to get the res. and now all they need to do is defend this point. Mangmada's scurrying for spawn as well. They got no ults online. It's all about the contestation game now.
Yeah, they need to try and buy this time. Minime's coming out. He's used all his cooldowns there. It's a great pile driver.
That was a beautiful ult as well. Self-destruct's going to come through. Tridd ends up killing Zytor. They might still be in this fight. Moose is going to come through as well on the ball to make sure he can stall for even more time. He gets instantly taken out by Tech36 though, asking with a beautiful headshot on Engineer. The May's going to stall a lot of time here, but Kagasi quickly picks him off. Dragon Strike as well, forcing everybody away from the point. Kagasi forced to reposition right behind the shield. Tech36 takes his life, and Morningstar's just about to cap the points.
Engineer's back on the Doomfist. He's going for Mercy, but it looks like there's just too many people here, Jaws.
Alpha Doomfist for Slur, 3 kills right at the very end. Clockwork Vendetta end up falling on the second point. Similar time banks though, but that just felt so much more dominant from Morningstars in that instance. Slur especially opening that first point up with 2 kills, both on the snipers. As soon as your Widow's dead, as soon as your Hanzo's dead, you got nothing for shield break. You got your Hog, but he takes so much damage when he's out in the open. Disaster for Clockwork. A minute extra for Morningstars though. Clockwork not out of this just yet.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before about Chubbs. He just manages to demand so much attention on the Arrested despite not having a Roadhog with him. You attribute so much danger to him because his holds are not to combine with hooks anymore. They're to try and create headshots. And you can't block an incoming hook with the Fortify like you usually can if an incoming hook is coming as an Orisa. Like, you can protect your team if you're holding up. You use Fortify in front of them. No hook's going to come through. It's just going to bounce off of your golden plating. But people can easily maneuver around your hitbox when you do have the snipers there instead to try and combine with that. So Chubbs is combining super well with Kagasi and asking and creating the space for Slur to be able to afford to go on flanks like that, because you've got to be able to play rather consistently as a Mercy to tell your Zen, okay, it's cool, I got him. You go on a flank.
You do you.
Yeah, you do you, Slur. Or maybe they told him not to in French, but he couldn't understand.
It was like, well, I don't know, so I'll just flank and see what happens.
Just like bonjour?
Wow, very good. It's another little interesting bit, and obviously we talked about it a little bit last week. Nice little grapple spot there, hits Ricky in the body. But they do all come in English, and that was one of our initial worries, was how was Slur going to be able to match with this 5-man French roster. But he's working out extraordinarily well so far. Morningstars on the defense. They got the Widow, they got the Hanzo, triple DPS with Solar Heal Mercy. And Clockwork Vendetta kind of doing the same thing, except Mangmada, not on the Widowmaker, he's on the Sombra instead. 1 EMP is all they're looking for. Nice little pick on Minime to start it off, though. Resurrection's going to come through regardless, but Clockwork Vendetta taking a whole bunch of damage as they try to do that.
Defensive walls here from Tech are looking pretty clean. The offensive ones as well deny the information, deny the sight line of asking, as Moose, once again, tries in vain for the hook.
I wish I was this uncontested when I play Widowmaker, man, honestly. Oh, what a headshot.
Beautiful.
That felt so good if you were asking right there. Yeah, that's an insta-kill no matter what HP you're at. Infosight's been activated as well, so they know exactly where everybody is. Those holds doing all of nothing, and Minime even turns away. Oh dear. Asking taking over the game.
Out he is. He's going after his Sombra now. Ricky in trouble. I loved seeing Engineer just turn back the second he saw those. The second he heard that.
He kills Mangmada as well. Now he's taking the 1v1. I say 1v1. Drijo's at his back. It's not entirely fair. Kagasi finds 2 of his own as well. Dishonest SMG kill for asking, but you're still on the defense. You still want to make sure Clockwork Vendetta do not get another chance to attack these points. 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining, Harry. A lot of time, but Mangmada's only 60% towards that ult.
That time bank gets draining away, Jaws, and Drijo's...
Well, there you go.
That is so mean.
That's another 15 seconds.
Yep, that is poetry in motion right there from asking. And you know that a lot of people have got their eyes on this player, like, how do we get a hold of this guy for upcoming metas? He's going to be a huge value.
If he does that again.
You also saw that there was actually a landing there of Kagasi Sonic Arrow to try and inform those jump shots so he could continually spawn Camp Engineer. Mangmada's going to be forced out, which is too much long-range damage.
Dragon Strike on the choke point, in fact, on the Mini as well, so actually forces Ricky to use the Ice Block fairly early. A lot of shots whistling past the camera right now as Askin trying to take pot shots at Moose, who's in the front line. Another wall to block off their vision, but Kagasi has all the information he needs with that small sight line. EMP is going to come through, but instantly you can see there, Zytor popping the ult as well, so they can follow this up with a lot of damage, but Slur managed to get that Transcendence off, and Drijo even finding the kill. This is going to come through, but are they going to be able to do anything about it? Instant ice block, and I'll be a 4-5 from the Orisa, so they're not getting frozen up, and every bit of receiving all that damage boost as well from the Supercharger. Slur on a killing spree as he finishes off Moose. And now Clockwork Vendetta, they got 1 minute and 30, Harry. And at least 20 seconds of that is just setting up. So realistically, they got a minute.
CC mitigation, they're still on point. Chubbs with a fortify, Tech with the ice block. You can see Tech is sort of playing this like an off-tank, right? He's just being behind Chubbs all the time. He's the other person contesting the point, using the health and the damage mitigation capacity of the May to his advantage. Good protection there.
Good start, good wall, good shot as well by McMarder. Takes out Slur when he got halted in. Still searching for headshots. Blizzard's going to come through. I'm not entirely sure where that was. A little bit more defensively, it looked like. Chubbs finally ends up going down as well as the Dragon Strike rips through Dredro. And now Clockwork Vendetta can push forward. They know Morningstars haven't got the healing required. Slur's actually jumped over to the Tracer, Harry, just to make sure he can contest a little bit longer.
Tech 36 somehow managed to escape that for a couple of moments. He got to get rid of Slur on the Tracer. He wants to die anyway.
He instantly dies.
Wants to go back over onto a support likely. Nice leap there from Kigasi.
Oh, he takes out Moo. Wait, what? Arskin's going to kill Engineer as well. They're going to be able to touch. No, they're not. They're a little bit too far away. And McMarder, my heart leapt a little bit there. McMarder did end up killing off Kigasi. They were looking for it, but the point will eventually get capped. Morningstars know that you only get an extra 30 seconds now, so they just set up completely, and they're going to be more than prepared for this assault of Clockwork Vendetta.
Yeah, that preparation is mostly going to be coming through from Kigasi and this Dragon Strike. We've seen how much value it's had so far, displacing Moose and Mini-Me. They set up a little mini bunker. They're like, okay, this is where we make our stand, but no, you cannot be there if it's filled with hungry dragons. They just do too much damage for you to try and sustain. A long-range attempt at a hook there onto a flanking Asking, not going to get anything.
A little bit in damage. That's a lot of ults going through. Oh, the halt into the dragons. Ricky and McMarder are going to go down. Clockwork Vendetta now with 16 seconds remaining. McMarder does get res, so they're not going to have Ricky, who's been playing a little bit more defensively this game around. And Kigasi taking over the backline as well. They got sights. They got all the information they need and more. Dredro's got the ult online. He uses that. Engineer finally gets on the point, but Dredro finds Zaitor. And now OT is ticking through. They're all coming in. Engineer is 2 HP. Blizzard's going to solo him out. OT's going to tick down. Clockwork Vendetta hoping for a miracle.
There's Perez coming through. They're going to save Tech 36 and bye-bye ball.
Yeah, he's not going to last long whatsoever, not against Dredro and the rest of the squad. Ricky, unfortunately, your day is up as well. Morningstars are going to be able to hold on this second point. That single tick going Clockwork Vendetta's way. And now they got 5 minutes to attack and complete the first, and then potentially get 33% on second.
I don't know if I'm watching Morningstars or London Spitfire during Season 1 finals, because these Dragon Strike halts, they are clean. They are getting stuff done. They're getting everything you need. Just getting a singular pick when you're up in that assault situation where you need a clean wipe, and you can't afford to be losing people because you've got to deal with stragglers as well. That's where you can really doom a push, because they've got to move forward, right? Then you've got 30 seconds to go. With an Orisa, you don't have the time to back off and calculate another push in, especially when you're also going to be going up against even more ultimates in the next one.
And now 5 minutes stands in their way of securing map point as well, or match point, I should say, sorry. Morningstars on their offense. I can imagine they're going to do the same thing here. I think it's a little bit more beneficial to run the hog on the offense, especially if you get a hook, right? You get the hole into the hook combo. And what does that do? It instantly gets the pick, but it not only gets the pick carry, it actually moves the death position of that person as well. So it's way harder for that Mercy to go for that res. You can't even wall them off either, because there is 2 gigantic doorways that you can kind of walk through on the entrance to the Anubis point. Got to be a big issue for Clockwork Vendetta if they get picked off at least one of them here. Zaitor's going to have a heck of a job getting someone resurrected.
Well, your top turret positions, there's one up on the top left there. There's going to be a little bit of a sneaky flank. Nice usage of the immortality field there from the supports to make sure that there were no early picks with a jump shot. Speaking of which, Asking going to be looking for one. But Clockwork Vendetta right now, they need to get value out of this Roadhog, George. They haven't got enough whole hook combinations to make sense of having a Roadhog in this composition right now.
There's the hole. Okay, you don't need a hook when Asking, you can just click people. Resurrection's still going to come through, though, and you can see everybody had to back off there. Rez was coming. They know they had to defend the Mercy, so now they forgo this high ground, Harry.
Now they do. Asking can claim it if he wishes to. There it is. Zaitor so low.
Of course he's going to. They had a Sonic Arrow in those stairs as well. McMarder didn't stand a chance, and now they're just scurrying for cover. Another wall to stop Asking, but what an investment that is coming through from Clockwork to stop this man clicking heads. Chubbs is going to fall. Mini-Me is going to go down as well, but Dredro managed to get the res, and now they can just push through. There's no Mercy Resurrection available because he's too far away. Engineer's trying to go man mode 1v3, but he's going to get taken out. And Morningstars, oh, come on, guys. Please. We're live on twitch.tv/Overwatch Contenders. Clockwork now have to defend for 4.5 minutes.
And also,
for 33%.
Morningstar have just guaranteed themselves for draw if they can cap this one out. There it is. There's no way Clockwork Vendetta can win this map. They're up against 420. It may be a very funny number to them, but their situation is anything but amusing. Kagasi, once again, has the Dragon Strike. It's doomed Clockwork Vendetta so many times. You know that Chubbs is rubbing his hands together, ready to go in with that Holt. The Sonic Arrow gives away the information as they prepare their assault.
Sides have been used already. Zytor is in.
It's
Oh
up too
my
high.
goodness, he's in so much trouble. You got to stay near the ground, man. Arskin's there, just waiting to click on your head. Slur's going to find a kill as well. And now, Match Point is standing in front of Morningstars. All they need is 33%. Slur takes the game into his own hands. They get 33. And Clockwork Vendetta go down on Anubis and Morningstars. It may have took them a couple of weeks, Harry, but they are back.
They are coalescing, they are together. And like you said there at the end, Zytor, he needs to stick to the ground, he needs to be a friendly neighborhood Mercy. But unfortunately, the ground was filled with Dragon Strike as well, so it's sort of a lose-lose situation for your bulky Mercy. Like, I guess I'll just go in and start pistoling. He was trying to heal everyone up, but just too accurate on asking with that hit scan. You can just hit the body shots because you know there's going to be a Discord orb, you've got a supercharge, you've got damage boost, you're able to do whatever you want.
It was nice as well to see Take 36 jump over to the Diva 2. Goes instantly into the second point. They know the combo's going to be there, so you just eat the Holt, and then as soon as that's gone, the combo disappears, and you can start pressuring out Shield. It was asking a force that did open the fight up, and as soon as you lose the healer, we talked about it before, but you basically forgo that fight because you got no sustain on your team, apart from Hog and May, of course, who can self-sustain, but it isn't going to be enough to help the rest of your team. That was cruel, by the way. Asking, I don't think
had enough.
I don't think he knew it was that low either. It was 44 HP. Another couple of SMG shops would have made it. But now Morningstars are 2-0 in the series. This is a Clockwork Vendetta we have not seen almost ever. They look a little bit shaky.
Yeah, it looks like we said before, the public knowledge of how to deal with this comp is gradually increasing to the point where it could be that a lot of teams are able to do this, including next week. But remember, Clockwork Vendetta, they have secured their spot into the playoffs. So you could make the argument that they're going a little bit soft and they're like, okay, we don't want to give away any more of our crazy strategies before playoffs because we want to be able to bring out some surprises then, clinch ourselves that win. Of course, they want that gauntlet spot as well because our winner of Contenders Europe, because we've only got one spot now, thanks to our performance and Atlantic Showdown, will be going to Seoul, South Korea to compete against the best teams in Contenders in the world.
Yeah, it's looking pretty spicy already. I mean, NA got a few more spots, but like we only need one. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, Korea may have a couple as well. Like, it's whatever. We only need one spot. I'm really hoping that we see someone like Clockwork Vendetta end up going to Gauntlet. I think it'll be a rather shocking experience for a lot of the Korean teams, and a little bit shocking for the NA as well. I know a lot of people on social media in general have been so infatuated with Clockwork Vendetta. It's been really nice to see, honestly. Their history is already being made, making it through Open Division, winning Trials, and then jumping into Contenders and putting up this much of a performance is pretty damn scary. Although they are looking rather shaky, we'll see if they can come back in map number 3, which is coming up on your screens very soon.